Good evening, everyone. I'm Mansa, your host for the evening. Welcome to the second edition of CodeUp series in Hyderabad. So, CodeUp is a series of meetups, tech meetups, and workshops for the developer community, and it is hosted by PayU. So, we have conducted over 50 such sessions across India, and this is our second CodeUp in Hyderabad. PayU is the leading online payment service provider in India with over 3 lakh merchants across sectors like e-commerce, telecom, airline, SMBs, and of course the startup community. So in this session of CodeUp, we are going to talk about emerging tech and trends. We have four speakers today, and our first speaker is Raj, and he's the solutions architect at Amazon Internet Services Private Limited. We have Yuktesh with us. He's the developer advocate at IBM Services. Suchith Reddy, head of university relations at HackMania. And Arvind, the founder and platform architect at the IoT Suitcase. So if you're live tweeting this event, then please use the hashtag UpStart and tag our Twitter handle UpStart and CodeUp. So I would like to invite Raj to come on stage.
I'm a solution architect with Amazon Web Services, the Indian arm called AISPL, Amazon Internet Services Private Limited. I must have met some of you a few events that we do in Hyderabad. And in fact, yesterday I was in Delhi talking to a lot of startups in the start of the event as such. So hopefully, you'll have something to take away from me today. More than happy to talk to you guys one-on-one anytime. Meanwhile, we'll build up. So I'm assuming all you are some kind of startups or are they startups? Okay. So I think that, we are now seeing the second wave of startups in our project, right? I think thanks to cloud, it is really making all of you be able to realize the dream of trying it out. Doesn't matter if you fail, but you just don't have to really worry about how do I get away from the investment that I've made, which used to be a big challenge a few years back. All right, so I think we're good. So, yeah. So is that visible? Yes. Okay. So I think I'll just start off. I'm going to take you guys through a journey. I'm hoping this will create enough ideas, sparks in your mind, so that you can actually take this back and see how you can do it within your app, or the product that you're trying to develop. Right. So most of you guys already recognize this feature. What this is, right? Basically, when you try to upload a picture on Facebook or any other site, you have face recognition, which is basically trying to understand whom you're sort of grouped with and all this stuff. So this is basically what you see on a daily basis. That is Connect. And how many people know or played with Connect? Right? It basically has an awesome technology to actually you become the controller, right? You start taking a hand and stuff like that. It starts to recognize your motion. That's How many people have tried this? All right. So you think this is pretty silly? Wearing up something like a blinder and probably don't know what you're doing. I'm telling you, I was really amazed by this technology. Right? I was trying it in one of the events out in Hyderabad. It was a roller coaster. I just thought, just standing and watching where I'm going, I could not stand even 50 seconds. That's how amazing it was. Right, and you probably also know this, right? Folks using advanced phones, the phone I think has all this feature where you can actually press the microphone button and talk into it, and then you get actions taken care of. Right? So what are we talking about? Okay, before I even talk about what I'm talking about, what do you think that is? Is that a bird? Is that a plane? No, it is not either. Can anybody guess what it is? Cloud. I can see clouds in the back. Good guess. But I'm talking about the thing that's moving on. It's actually a bionic bird called Pesto. Look it up, And the following videos that you will see on YouTube, it will really blow your mind away. With the kind of technology that's coming in, and we call it AI, artificial intelligence. Right? The way artificial intelligence is in your lives today, you probably don't even know, but you're being touched by it. And that, my friends, is what is really changing the world as we know it. I've been to talk by one of the professors recently, and that professor had said that in about 10 to 20 years from now, 30% of our jobs are going to be taken away by machines, because machines are becoming more and more intelligent, right? So what is AI? I have pretty long definition. So I'll actually play this for a minute. Can anybody hear that? No. Fine. Stop it. Doesn't matter. It's okay. So what I was trying to do there was use an artificial intelligence technology to actually read out this exact statement what it is defined as AI. Right? And I just had to paste this text in an AI interface. It just gave me human-like text. Now imagine the power of this particular technology. Right? It's called text-to-speech. Natural language processing. It's really changing the way you do verbose and applications which need a lot of text reading and all that. So we have things like Netflix, Pinterest. Some people call it Pinterest, which basically uses artificial intelligence behind the scenes to give you your suggested videos that you might be interested in, or use image-based searching. Right? So these are something that you see and use on a daily basis, don't even know what's actually driving it. So even at Amazon, so I work for Amazon, so I do have to talk about Amazon. So we do a lot of artificial intelligence on Amazon, on a daily basis. Right? We use it in our discovery and search platform. We use it in our fulfillment logistics and all that. In fact, the amount of artificial intelligence we use on a daily basis, we've actually pioneered in bringing out newer technologies. And for example, how many people know that? I think we have a demo here already. Somebody might have done it. That's your Echo. And Echo really was born out of these ideas, where it is powered by artificial intelligence to give you it's actually created a completely new marketplace where startups are building applications to make lives easier. How many people have heard this story today that a woman was saved by Alexa? Right, today it came out in the news. A woman was saved by Alexa because Alexa thought by the kind of conversation they were having that the woman was being assaulted, and Alexa alerted the police. The police called back that woman's phone, and the perpetrator actually got scared and ran away. Right? So that's the intelligence that's running Alexa. Right? Because that's the power of artificial intelligence. So it's not that artificial intelligence is something that's changing the world today suddenly. It's been happening for a long time. Right? We all know that curve where hype and all that stuff. Right? So I don't want to talk much about it, but in Amazon we had artificial intelligence way back before people even knew Amazon.com. Right? I can't even recognize the logo of Amazon at that point. Right? We had a section where we had built a service which automatically identifies the kind of reader you are and trying to suggest books. It started then for us, and today we are here. But for example, Alexa just spoke about. How many people know about Amazon Go? Amazon Go basically is reinventing or disrupting the way the point of sale systems work. And how many people don't like shopping? I love shopping, except when I have to stand in the line to pay out. Right? That's changing with Amazon Go. You just come in, you get scanned, pick up whatever you want to go, you automatically bid. Yeah, that's a problem because my kids won't ask me anymore. So I can just pick it up and put it, and then I go home and I realize it's there. But those are my challenges, not Amazon's challenge. And then here, QA. That is changing how we manage warehouses. Right? Gone are the days where you do rank stacking of your inventory. It's really and all that is because of artificial intelligence. Right? And going on. For example, this one here. How many people know about that? Amazon had also Fire mobiles. How many people knew about Amazon? The Fire mobile being existing. So fine. While that didn't really take off as we expected, but in Amazon, anything that we try is not it's not a success or a failure. We don't measure it in success or failure. We actually look at it, proving of a hypothesis being wrong. That's how we look at it, right? So with the Fire phone, we had that feature where we could look at the image or take an image and automatically place an order about what that particular thing is. But that eventually the technology did help us to invent other products as such. But and again, the other thing I wanted to talk about is this was a few years back, somewhere published in Design News. The way you interact with your phones today is changing slowly. Right? I was actually told that I should be speaking into a phone when I came here, just to that's probably a disruptive way to actually avoid using mics. And I was actually thinking of innovating and putting a headset and then talking into it. But the way you're going to interact with your phones is going to change, and voice is going to be an essential way of doing it. So voice will be everywhere is what was prophesied, but this was a few years back. Today, voice is everywhere, and we already talked about Alexa a bit, right? That's changing the way you interact with devices. Now, Alexa has opened up a completely new market, if you want to call it, and a completely new opportunities for you to be able to bring that accessibility and the convenience factor into the common man's hand. I'm actually, if you look at the Alexa's marketplace, there's so many applications out there that you could start using. Right in India itself, people have built cricket India, IPL India, and stuff like that. And building an app on Alexa just takes about 10 minutes to build a Hello World app. Right? If you have an Amazon account, I don't know how many people here know about Amazon AWS as a cloud provider like Lambda service architecture. Using that, building an app in Alexa for Alexa makes it a no-brainer, which makes smart people like you guys who can write a lot of code redundant to some extent. Right? So that the technology is not just limited to Alexa. Now there are a lot of products which are now integrated with Alexa. Now we can actually have smart homes, not just smartphones. We can say Alexa turn down the lights in a particular room. It will actually communicate with one of these devices and do that. These products are available, and a lot of big players are already there in the market. Right? That is changing the way we are interacting with day-to-day objects. Right? In fact, NASA built a cute or a very interesting application based on. I think they use Alexa. It changes the colors of the room depending upon what they see in the logs. If it's an error, it just blinks red. If it's a warning, it blinks orange. So it's an interesting way that they have used this technology. But anyway, so what is AI? AI definition we already know. Humans or machines trying to do humans' work at the bottom of it, right? But how does it learn? It learns from mistakes. So next time, if you make a mistake and somebody pulls you up for that, just say that AI is taking over the world by making mistakes. Let me do the same thing. Right? So that's basically the background of how AI is learning, and it's been happening for a long time. Right? As for AI, so narrow AI is essentially performs a specific task which is repetitive and pretty much know the boundaries under which it needs to perform. Right? General AI is trying to be very close to being a human, right? Trying to understand the emotions and stuff like that. Right? Super intelligence or super AI, as we call it, is trying to be better than humans. Right? We have seen so many movies that have come in this space. But are we there yet? But that's a debate that we can have any day. But for now, we'll settle with your mom. Because okay, this is basically I just wanted to put some humor here. I want to put a wife first, but then I thought, okay, I'm not playing safe. I should use mom there. I mean, it's true, right? I think my mom has so much, so many hunches toward what I would be doing. Even if I tell her something's wrong, she will probably guess and actually come up. And many times she bailed me out of my misery. Right? So I'm just saying, so it's an open topic that we don't know that super AI is there yet or not, but we'll see. Right? So we have had AI for a long time, right? So it's been there, in different forms, but how or why now again, right? So what is happening is, we have been taking different journeys in different forms. For example, if you talk about monolith applications to micro services-based applications or serverless architecture, you take data being the new oil, right? Now everybody has started seeing value in the data. So it doesn't matter whether you do big data today or not. You start collecting all the information that you have. You generate either logs, comments, whatever it is. Right now, while big data says what's happening, small data tells you why it is happening. Small data again redefined with your likes, the tweets, the ratings for your application. Those are the new small data points. So where does machine learning fit? So for example, let's say this is a flywheel for data where I'm collecting data. I have more users. I get more data from users. I use better analytics by using a lot of technologies in the data space. Then I use the machine learning and deep learning technologies to build better products, and then this goes on. Right? So machine learning and artificial intelligence fits right there. Now, so we've seen. So today, what we have seen a new form of AI. We call it deep learning, where we're trying to do things like image recognition, voice recognition. In fact, build completely autonomous systems. Right? That is where we are today. And what does it actually mean for us, right? While there are proven models, proven frameworks, available datasets that you can actually use to build AI systems. Building them itself requires a lot of skills, large amounts of investments and stuff like that. Right? I think that's where Amazon, AWS is changing how you can actually use this technology. Before I talk about that, very soon the assumption is that, or the prediction is that every mobile application, every website, or every product that you're going to build, you will have AI in the heart of the application, trying to be more intuitive and give a better value or a better experience to the customer. Right? So a lot of customers are already doing it. At the forefront are Amazon, Facebook, Google, and NVIDIA, the manufacturing company, which is processor manufacturing company is doing it. And so we have a lot of major big companies trying to put AI in forefront and actually bring it accessibility. Right? So we are now, so it started with a small number of applications. Today it's actually more than 5,000 AI applications that are out there. I mean, it's just a trajectory showing that I actually saw a graphical. How many people are following the argument that Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk had recently? Right? There have been quite a few words thrown around. One supporting AI, the other trying to caution us about AI. Well, that in the background, somebody actually shared a graphic saying where you are today in the AI revolution. Right? We're right at the verge of the next big wave of AI, and it is just going to be the next big revolution. Right? So we already knew, right? In the recent few years, cloud has really disrupted the way we do, we build applications, the way we use infrastructure, on demand, pay as you go, converting your capital expenditure into capex to opex, pay as you go, on demand. So that's really changed, and giving you the ability to actually, especially in startup space, to be able to go to try this idea out. If it fails, you don't really have much to lose. So that is, basically, the cloud falls into three categories. One being managed. Let's go from three. So bottom up, core services, your infrastructure service, like compute, storage, and networking. Container services, more or less like a platform as a service, where you bring in your application and build, use the platform to run your application. And most essentially, managed services, which basically changes the way you you look at how you use the service. Right? You do not have to worry about how it's being run. It's completely given to you in an API form where you simply invoke. You just bring in your data and pretty much invoke it using an API. So which means you don't have to worry about the operational aspect of it or the scaling aspect of it. So what AWS, what we have done is essentially democratize and commoditize the AI features. For example, most of the common application features that fall into AI space are image recognition, voice, and text to speech. These are the three core platforms or core areas where you would like to use AI for your application. Right? So let's quickly take a look at what they are, and then I'll take questions. So in AWS we have AI in three offerings. One as AI services, which are essentially commoditized and democratized API format, where you simply make an API call and get the AI features at your fingertips, or the AI platforms where things like if you have to build a Spark ML platform yourself. So you doing it, you could simply use the platform services to quickly spawn EMR master with Spark ML and get your work done. And then the AI engines, most of the commonly used frameworks like MXNet, TensorFlow, you can use these engines in out of the box, deployed onto an EC2 instance. If you don't know, if you guys understand what I'm saying, and then go even deeper than what you can achieve in the common APIs. Right? So this is how the AI platform in AWS we provide. And on the higher level, we have managed services like Poly, Recognition, and Lex. And then if you want more control and go deeper than what we already offer, we have deep learning frameworks available for you, which are easy for you to get started. So, for example, Poly is a service where it is essentially a text-to-speech service. You give it text and automatically starts basically returns that in a voice form, and it's pretty intelligent. There's a lot of NLP technology involved there. It supports 24 languages, 47 voices, including the Indian voice called Ravina. So just go in and try just put some text in it. It understands exactly so how do you especially pronounce that particular word, and then yeah, I wish I had connectivity to the speakers, and maybe I could have given you a feel of how Poly actually works. If you guys have AWS accounts, please go and try that feature out. If you don't like the default rendering of the text, you use something like XML and lexicons to actually teach the platform how to talk a particular or say a particular word or name, especially to Indian languages. So where are these applicable? These are applicable in things like articles and blogs, training materials, chatbot, which I'll come to in a bit, and public announcements. Right. So, for example, there's a customer in Hyderabad who's actually using Poly to convert their manuals, thousands of pages of manuals, into voice-based manuals, and somehow indexing them and giving it to the customers so that they don't have to read through it. They can even listen to it and then pretty much be more productive. Right. Interactions. As I said, voice is going to be the next wave of how you interact with your systems, and for that, AWS has a service called Lex. It basically helps you to very interactively build chatbots in a matter of few minutes and have it deployed at scale. It gives you existing connectivity to or connectors to Facebook, Slack, video, and these are the channels where you can actually have integration already out of the box. If you don't like it, use the APIs to build a custom chatbot interface and then use the Lex platform. Right? Currently, Lex actually powers Alexa. So we came up with Alexa first, and then abstracted that service to Lex and Poly, to separate services. And then finally, recognition. Most of the image recognition applications or use cases fall into commonly four of these. Right? For example, object and scene detection. Given an image, you want to be able to detect what are the has formed. Facial analysis. Given a face, you find out whether it's a girl, boy, age group, wearing glasses, looking happy. These are things that you would like to know. Right? Face comparison, for example, right? And then facial recognition. So these are the common features, and you get all these. You upload an image, make an API call. It gives you back attributes. It shows you how the objects have been recognized with what percentage of confidence. Same thing with the face. It actually tells you happy, smiling, have a beard or not, and all that stuff. Right? It also does face comparison. Let's say you have a face on database. Somebody comes in, swipes a card. Security feature, right? I will compare. It says, okay, this is the same guy who's trying to withdraw the money and otherwise block it. So a lot of features that you can build out of this. Recognition of face out of a group of faces. It tells you does it match a particular person or who's there in the intro, like tagging example. And then you also have a feature called image moderation. A lot of people know about this story. In the Western country where one teacher was fired because she uploaded pictures, objectionable pictures like drinking beer and stuff like that. I mean, by all means, they are humans too, but maybe that was not intentional, right? You must have uploaded a bunch of pictures, and one of them turned out to be something objectionable. Had we had a service like this, we have image moderation. You upload an image which is objectionable. It's actually intentionally blurred here. That was actually a woman wearing a swimwear. So it actually calls out that this image has these are the moderation attributes like swimwear, underwear. So it could be relevant for a lingerie company, but not relevant for a social website. That's a feature that you get by making an API call. Say here is my object, my blog, or somewhere in S3. Please analyze this picture and let me know all this. Just an API call. Right? That basically are the services that you could actually use on AWS and add a lot of value to the applications that are already existing. So, how many people are building mobile applications? Yeah, a few hands, right? Okay. So, we also have a service called Mobile Hub, where you could actually build a chatbot or all these features, and then use Mobile Hub to generate a ready-built a skeleton API so that you can integrate into your application and start building your code, or build a fresh application from this Mobile Hub, and then start building on top. Right? So with that, I hope I haven't taken too much of your time. I'm open for questions. Any questions? Yeah.
One unrelated question. Okay, I have built skills for Alexa.
Okay.
Alexa wakes up using a keyword called as Alexa. The event which you were discussing about that happened with home. Did she use the keyword or Alexa was hearing?
I'm yet to figure that out myself. I just read this news today in the morning.
Yeah.
It must have been Alexa. It must have just said Alexa. Forget that, man. One day I was talking to somebody. I have 3 Alexas at home. Okay, one in each room. One day I was talking to a friend of mine. I said Alexa in Hindi.
Okay.
And I just woke up saying, and I said, I'm sorry, I can't understand what you're saying. So maybe there was an entrance because it actually wakes up when you say Alexa or Echo. Sorry, Amazon. Yeah. So that hasn't changed yet. So it's still you have to wake it up. Yeah.
Is it self-empowered? I mean, automatically it starts from
So you have to. So Alexa does not wake up by itself. You have to invoke it unless it's like an alarm that you have set where it actually beeps again. Otherwise, it's actually a security feature, right? There have been a lot of worries about Alexa might always have a microphone on. Somebody could be what do you call it, eavesdropping. We don't want that. That's yeah.
So, is it like it's self-charging itself, something from some power source?
Yeah. So Alexa today, other than tap, right? Everything, all the other devices need to be always connected to the power, right? So yeah, power source is a must, and it just works on that. So let's say Alexa, and then
So it needs an external power source.
Yes. So for Alexa, you have to have connectivity.
Wi-Fi. Yes, you need to have Wi-Fi.
If suppose there's a services want to bring it to on-premise, how we can bring it to on-premise?
So Alexa is already on premises, right? The device is already on premises.
But your services are running on the another.
On the cloud, yes.
So it is sending the data, is analyzing and sending it back.
So that's where you are getting the power of the AI, right? The speech recognition, the NLP, all these things are done behind the scenes for you on the cloud. So the power of cloud is backing Alexa. But let's say if you don't want that, you want Alexa to invoke something on premises, right? So it could be an API call, right? So they essentially use the cloud to achieve that functionality. But you cannot bring it on.
Sometimes what happens in some business the customer may not want that their premises be connected to the internet all the time. So, for example, Microsoft is planning to take on-premises version of Azure. Does Amazon make such plans so that we can use the services which are available in Amazon?
So I don't think it's easy to comment on that because it very much it changes the version, the very meaning of cloud, right? The moment you bring it on premises, it's no longer cloud, right? Which means you could use any technology to run on premises. But so if you know the definition of a cloud, right? It being scalable, it being available, being multi-tenant, and all that stuff, right? So
can I just give an example what Microsoft is trying to do? They have the Azure platform. They whatever functionality, scalability, everything they have. If you replicate the same thing with number of servers, if somebody is willing to pay, they are trying to come
simple answer for that. Yeah, we don't do that in AWS, and we can take it offline. Let's take it offline.
I have one question.
Sure.
So Alexa keeps on listening to everything that we are talking about.
It only wakes up. Yeah, I mean, it only processes the word Alexa.
Yeah, but it's still listening to everything and then processing the word Alexa. So what is the privacy there? So it keeps on listening to all the conversations. You give an example of something being saved because Alexa thought they were in distress.
No, it's not. So it's not that it was actually listening to me all the time. So it is actually guaranteed that it doesn't record that voice. It just keeps listening. It only listens to the word Alexa. That's a wake-up word. That's when it starts processing. Till then, it doesn't.
So what happens to everything that we talk when
It just
Discarded
discards.
into your
I think sorry, no, it doesn't.
It is discarded there.
It's discarded right in the.
And when you said AI learns from the mistakes, so when Alexa says that I can't understand what you are saying, so you can take those phrases in your cloud and then analyze them.
So
That's what we're doing, right?
yeah, so there is a lot of machine learning built in there, so which actually helps the AI services that we are offering to be much more. So for example, like when you build Lex, which is an abstracted service of Alexa, where it helps you build chatbots, right? So we call it an intent when you invoke. So with Alexa, you have to say Alexa first. Right here, you invoke Lex and say I want to book a ticket from here, from location A to location B. Right? At that point of time, what you utter, how you use the chatbot over a period of time, it actually learns from that, and then it
Yes.
gets more and more.
Yeah, learning is fine, but I'm talking about keeping those phrases in your cloud, analyzing them, and do you discard them or do you still keep them?
So we never use customers' data, and so
You always use customer data for your because I was delivering more.
no. When I say customer data, so let's say you're using AWS Cloud, right? You own what you put on the cloud. It's never visible to AWS in any form. If that's what you're meaning. When you say, I think when you meant customer data, if a customer has bought something from me, from Amazon, yeah, that's pretty much data that's used by me, right? So I think there's a difference between those two.
I was taking an analogy with respect to the recognition platform what you guys have. So any image that we upload will add to your AI strength, right?
The models that we build, right? It's never an image being stored, right? So the way, if you understand the CNN, the neural network, all the layers we have, right? It's never a particular image being viewed as it is. Right? It goes through a lot of filters and tries to match with what it actually has as a model. Right? So that's why. So it doesn't store the image. It actually is part of your terms in the future. And it never stores the image for itself to. So you don't have to worry about that. The database. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, Raj, for the amazing talk. Coming to our next speaker, he's Yuktesh. But before that, we will be collecting your puzzle sheets after Yuktesh is done talking. And we'll be going around and we'll be collecting it. Now, coming to Yuktesh, he's a developer advocate at IBM. So he'll be speaking on cognitive using cloud. So he's been with IBM for the last 7 years and has been actively engaging with the Hyderabad city developer ecosystem for the last 3 years through various channels like meetups, workshops, events, and hackathons. He is also actively working with the startup community on influencing the adaptation of IBM technologies of cloud and cognitive. So prior to this, he worked full-time with academic initiatives to help various universities to embrace IBM technology in their respective curriculum. Over to you.
You have an HDMI? Okay. That is there.
from here?
So that will not work, right? This will work? That's okay.
Is that getting described?
Yeah, it's blocking.
You push it up. No, it's not blocking. It's not blocking. What is it? Clicker? No. Does this come?
That's fine.
Very good evening to one and all. On a Saturday evening, giving a talk is really tough. This is the first time I am giving Saturday, second half of the session. Like most of the time, as Manas said, we do lots of meetups for startups and developer ecosystem, but all used to happen in the first half of the day. And okay, so yeah. So I've been working with the IBM as a developer advocate. So most of the time I spend my time with first half of first 4 years with university relations, academic initiative team. I used to look after the southern part of the country, and now in the last couple of years, little more than that into the startup ecosystem. Okay, so the topic as I'm showing here, cloud cognitive using cloud. So yeah, okay. So let me. So this is what I just wanted to cover service models of cloud, and then where exactly what is Bluemix and where exactly it fits in, and then cognitive approach. What is Watson from IBM perspective? I'll try to pitch in what is it, and then different Watson APIs will try to explore it, and if possible, we'll also try to see quick demo. Okay, so being a developer, if you have to understand how IBM Cloud is. Yeah, so this is pretty old kind of stuff you all pretty much know, like on-prem stuff when there was no cloud, and now speaking once after cloud into the picture, different service models, infrastructure as service platform, and then SaaS. So from IBM, software serves as like infrastructure as a service, which obviously a pretty well known thing. Used to man cloud handles the hardware part, and the stuff used to be handled by developer. Right, and the next one is Bluemix, which is platform as a service from IBM again. Right, so on top of hardware, on top of infrastructure, Bluemix also provides platforms for us like runtimes and CodeUp. And just get onto the tool also, and then I'll show. Right, SaaS is something which a developer develops a complete product available on cloud. Right, so I just try to explore Bluemix for now. How many of you have tried Bluemix in your experience? Anybody? Only one? Okay, two. Okay, so Bluemix is basically cloud platform as a service, which has got 130 plus services. It's a platform being daily, people used to keep on updating services. Right, so what are the different services available in Bluemix in quick high level view? I'll just take you through. Okay, so
You want me to change the...
Yeah.
You want me to change the...
Is it?
Yes. Okay, so basically, if you have machines, maybe post my session, you can immediately give a start of exploring this cloud platform, Bluemix. So this is a catalog tab, which is pretty much all the stuff is available in Bluemix. So wherein it covers your infrastructure, apps, and services. Infrastructure is all about hardware. You can see storage, compute, network, security stuff, and then apps. So Bluemix is being built on top of Cloud Foundry, which is open source cloud PaaS. So the apps which you been built is like the Cloud Foundry. Boilerplate again, it's again a runtime. See, you being a developer, you can come here and then you can explore like be it like Java, Python, PHP, Node.js, whatever it may be the platform you are using it, right? You can come over here and then you can choose your own runtime and then you can start working on it. Right, so platform itself will take care of creation of your app, right? So container stuff, OpenWish is like function as a service. You trigger and then you trigger something when your action being gets performed. If I have okay, so services there are plenty. I would like to log in and show that would be really helpful for me as well instead of one page. Okay, so this is my address is the resolution. Okay, so there are, as I said, 100 plus services. Are plenty of services available. So this is what the cloud apps which I was talking about. You being a developer, you can just explore whatever app you want. Liberty for Java, for the Java developers, Node.js, for Swift guys. Let me quickly show. Okay. So the moment you register here, okay. You register, you will get 30 days of free access with 2 GB of space and 10 amount of service instances you can create. Let me get onto the different services. When I say services, it covers data and analytics part, and also there are plenty in that. Watson also gets covered. Yeah, so this is Watson, which you can see. Services are made available through cloud platform. Okay, and there are plenty. So let me move from. Okay, so basically, cloud Bluemix is a cloud platform as a service. Is what the message I just wanted to convey, and which has got 100 plus services, right? And so, what is Watson? How many of you have heard this? Yeah? IBM projects Watson on a cognitive machine. Can anybody? Yeah, please.
Watson.
Yeah.
Jeopardy. I mean,
Great, yeah.
when Watson defeated humans in that.
True.
And we actually work on AIs and that sort of stuff. So we actually explored Watson a while back.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So some 8 years before, a little more than that. Actually, IBM been working on a Q&A solution, right? So the machine has been built, and in the year 2011, actually that machine is being made to participate in a contest called Jeopardy. You can see here. So this is a television quiz show in US. So this mission is being made to participate in this contest, and then it defeated the current champions. That's how it came into limelight. So this is a kind of a mission. Maybe you must have seen Robo, right? So you ask something and it responds. So lots of data got embedded inside. Lots of AI, ML algorithms have been embedded. So this can understand, so the machine can understand, it can reason, it can interact, right? So it can do lots of stuff, it can learn, right? So this much of stuff can be made using this Watson, but since this is not on cloud, access to the developers is not that so really great. So this being made part of cloud, so that available in the form of API, so that you can really explore it and start making use this to your applications, right? So we'll quickly try to see some of the Watson APIs which are available in our cloud platform called Bluemix. So there are, if I categorize this like language services are there, speech and like vision services are there, right? So these are more like Raj spoken on almost all of the topics, right? So on a different platform you are experiencing, that's it, right? Conversation is a service which helps us in creating virtual agents, so-called chatbots, right? So we could able to easily build chatbots using conversation service like a matter of minutes. What all stuff you have to need is like you need to know intent of the conversation and then what are the entities involved in it, and then that's it. So you need to create your own dialogues, right? I'll just try to show a small demo of it. And discovery. So discovery is like again you pitch in whole lot of data to that machine and you ask a question. It does lots of analysis. Let's say like 100 HTML docs been was trained by a machine, let's say, right? And you are now asked a question like this is all about, let's say, cricket, right? And so when was Sachin scored first century? So it picks up all, it goes and analyze the data, all the 100 HTML docs, and then where exactly Sachin data is present. It picks up that, and in regards to Sachin data again, in regards to centuries, his first century. So that's how it goes and gets the data, whatever the required data we're asking, right? And document conversation. Document conversation, it's a service which helps in conversion of document into JSON, which helps for us in processing data into our applications, right? So documents may be in PDF, Microsoft, Soft, Word, right? So those are documents. Using this service, we can easily able to convert into JSON, right? And language translator, understand language, converts language from X language to Y language. So this is pretty much helpful for us while the guy from abroad sending email to regional guy of India, right? So personality insights is one of the I just saw a few and then I'll move to the demo part. That would be really helpful for us to how to create a Watson service and then how to pull the APIs. I just wanted to show that. Okay, so personality insights is again one of the service which helps for us in getting the psychometric traits of a person, right? So let's say if you are, this is pretty much helpful for people who are trying to hire guys, HR related stuff. This is pretty much helpful. Like you would be giving JD, right? You would be getting hundreds of thousands of resumes, right? So you just post this all the resumes into this personality insights, and then it filters the profiles which are mapping to your JD, right? Or else let's say you want this person, this person profile, right? You have given this person profile as a input to your personality insights, and whatever the data comes in, all the let's say lakhs of profiles comes in, right? It maps with the current profile and then it filters the data and gives back to it. So lots of time we can minimize in terms of hiring. Right? So analyze the tone, retrieving and rank. So these are all self-explanatory services. Nothing much great actually. And text speech to text, text to speech again. This helps in again for call centers as such, right? So you speak and then that converts into text and vice versa. And image recognition, finding the images, different different data in an image or in an object, right? And let's say comparing the faces, right? Raj spoke in the last minute of his talk, right? Finding the age, finding the person, finding the gender, as such, like, we have visual recognition service as well. Let's try to see how all this looks like in the Bluemix platform, and we'll try to quickly see one or two demo. Okay. So this is like your catalog tab wherein you can find all the Bluemix supported services. This is on the local Wi-Fi.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is an account. You can see it has been deployed in the account, and currently all of them are running. Okay, so I have a capacity of 40 services in which 24 instances are running.
Do you want to sit down and show because your shadows? Do you want to sit down and show because your shadow is falling?
Okay, I'm waiting for this. Okay, what I'll do, I'll create a service and then that would be better. So these are all the Watson services names which you have seen seen in the deck. You can find in the Bluemix platform also. Yeah. Conversation, discovery, so on. Visual recognition. So let me quickly show how we can create a service in this platform. By default, take certain name, or else you want, you can give your own name. So, what is the input we need to provide for this service? Is like, a person, social tag, or like, the written English of the guy. The guy, whatever he has written in, whatever the English he has written, that phrase we have to give as an input for this service. One second. Give me a moment. Actually, the resolution challenge. Okay, so I've just I've moved to another service. Actually, it's conversation service, as I was telling about the bots we can create using this conversation service. So first you have to fire the service so that the instance of the service gets created, and then you can create, let's say,
Do you want to sit down?
you want me to say? Yeah.
So you can do the demo setting. I can focus on both of them.
So basically, 3 steps for us here. Why create to create a bot using Watson conversation service. Okay. So step number 1 is like simple. What is the intent of creation of this conversation? So intent. I'll just create a very simple greetings. Greetings are intent. Okay. It should follow with the hashtag. Okay. And okay. So user examples. So intent is what? Greeting, right? And user example. What kind of stuff user may type to you? It's a bot, right? So we are trying to build a bot. So user example. Let's say hi. If we say hi. If we say hello. If we say good morning. If we say hey, right? How are you? Okay, so basically step number 1 is done. Intent creation, like what is the intent behind it? So greeting is my intent, and then different sorts of examples like user what he is trying may give, like that. We are now training. Okay, done. Okay. So successfully created a greeting intent. So entity is basically like an object. It's a class, right? On what we are going to discuss, right? So I don't create entity now. Let me directly move to dialog. Interest of time. So step number 1, intent. You gave to the mission like user. If user asks ABCD like hi, hello, and all. Right, so how you have to respond, how Watson has to respond, we will have to train. Okay. So if bot recognizes our greeting, okay, add your response. Okay, bot recognizes your greetings, add your response. Okay, so hello, I am Watson.
You are actually blocking this.
Yeah, you will have to sit. You will have to sit. That way you will not be blocking. Yeah.
What can I do for you? Okay. So, hi, good evening, whatever. How are you? I'm just giving some kind of responses, right? Okay. So, right at top you can see, ask Watson. Just write out. So this is the default stuff. It comes up for you. Now, what is our greeting? Hi. Right? Hello, I am Watson. What can I do for you? Right? This is the first. So you can. There are 3 outputs I gave. If you understand it, 5 kind of inputs user may ask is what I said, like hi, hello, good morning, and all. These are the different kinds of inputs. I'm predicting that user may give like this. If user gives these inputs, like what Watson has to respond is what I just created. I just generated through dialog, right? And let me. Okay, so let me give hey. This is the second WhatsApp response. If you see, hi, good evening. How are you? I'm just trying to show various responses, right? What is the other one? Hello. Can I do something? This is the third one which I give. See, basically, it is taking one by one, right? If you see, there is a set to random here at the bottom. Set to random. If I click on that, randomly it will take. So this is a simple purpose for the demo sake. I've given some kind of general English and then I'm trying to showcase. But actually, if you're trying to create a proper conversation, a meaningful, conversation, then what we have to basically concentrate on is intents, and what all the different intents the discussion may, carry on, and then entities in that topic, in the topic of discussion, what all objects will come into the picture, right? So those entities you need to mention, and see, entities fan. You may say fan, you may say cooler, right? You may say AC. The synonyms also you need to mention it. You need to train the Watson in such a way, and the dialogues also you have to, like just now you have seen, right? Now, if this intent comes in, so what Watson has to respond, that you have to, just mention to the Watson conversation service in the dialogue tab. So this is what the test over here which we have done. Okay, this you develop this your conversation and then get it this deployed for your application through REST API. I'll just so try to adjust. In the interest of time, I have shown a very small demo. So okay, so this is what the conversation service which have created, right? So when you click on service credentials, you can see so view credentials. Yeah. So these are the credentials which you can able to pull out and then plug to your code, right? Okay, so and I'll just show one more. No? Okay, so guys, these are all like what? In a matter of minutes, you can develop these services, and then you can understand first. It's all about cognition. You training your service, right? You input your data and you train your machine, and then now you make it for execution, right? Stack this to your application. So through API calls, right? I would like to share few links. So much I can discuss in the matter of 15-20 minutes. So I would like to share a few links. These are pretty much helpful for you to take away and then start exploring. So if you want to learn more on Bluemix.net, you can start working with the 30-day trial. As I said, it has got 130 plus services. You can explore whatever the area which you are interested in. And Watson. So if you want to understand a little bit more about Watson, a deep dive about each and every service, to certain extent you can go for this link. And there are plenty of free courses for developers, right? Where you can register, and based on your interest, courses are not only cloud and cognitive, but also plenty of other courses are available where you can register and then go for say 4 hours, 8 hours, 15 hours kind of courses wherein you will be getting badges as once if you're done with that. And cognitive courses has the separate link I gave for the cognitive courses. Very good amount of courses are there. And the last one, this is where actually I come in from. I work for startup ecosystem, as I said. They have a program called GEP, Global Entrepreneur Program. How many of you are startups here? Oh, great. Good amount. So, if you are like less than 5 years of old from inception, right? And if you are like having a product or platform, right? trying to be on cloud, if you want to explore it, we have a program called GP wherein we provide $1,000 credits per month, like likewise for a year, right? Wherein you will get access to these services which I will have tried showing. Okay, so this is the link wherein you can go and explore about the startup initiative of IBM, right? And you can always reach me out if you have any questions on that. Okay, so yeah, so that's all I have. If I could have a good amount of time, I would have shown the demo in a very peaceful fashion. But anyways, so you can reach me out through Manasa, or else you saw my Twitter handle. So I'm more happy to connect with you guys and take the discussions forward in regards to whatever the cloud services you are interested in exploring, right? For now, I would like to pause. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take. Please.
So if I use IBM Watson to build a chatbot, will this bot be able to retain the context of the conversation? As in, if I'm talking about this meter, if I ask where is it, like if my next question is how many people were there, I'm not specifying the word meter. All I'm saying is how many people were there. Will Watson be able to understand that I'm talking about this meetup and they give me a response based on that?
So basically, see, some kind of information in regards to this program as an input from your end has to go to the Watson,
okay,
right?
If it is there.
It is not meetup. So that's where I said, right? Entity. So meetup, seminar, conference. So these are all synonyms. Meetup is what we put as like entity, and then synonyms like conference, seminars, class, whatever it may be, right? So like users like you, end users like you may ask any of this stuff, right? So it will understand it and accordingly it will respond.
No, I think I have to rephrase the question. Okay, if you showed some examples about hi, hello, and all, right?
Correct.
So if I only train Watson for like probably one intent saying where is the CodeUp, that's it. So if my next question is how many people are there, I have not trained for this particular intent.
Okay. So default, obviously, it's a default out, message. It will say that saying, as of now, I don't know this. I'll come back. I'll learn it and come back. See, basically, we need to train information regarding that. Matter whatever you are asking. If it is there, means then obviously response. It's all about how the way we are developing the dialogue and intents, right? If it is mapping, your question is mapping to the current intents. Right? If it is there, it is relying, it is relating. Then it's all about the synonyms what we give, and it's all about intents what we give. Humongous amount of intents also we have to give. So to make it bot live, we need to really do lots of tests, right? So prior to that, we also have to give possible number of intents and entities.
So basically, if I create a normal conversation using Watson, it is kind of like just a Q&A for me. Like I should give a sentence with an intent, and then it will give me some sort of response. But if intent is not there, this chatbot system is not intelligent enough to understand what I'm talking about. Essentially,
I think so. His question was more on contextual conversations.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you look at Apple Siri versus Google Home, right, or Google Now. So, when you go like Google, who is the president of US? So, it would say whoever is the guy. And the next question you ask is how old is he? You're able to tell you he's 65.
Yes.
So that's contextual conversation. Just not, as far as I know, it's not possible with WhatsApp. You get correct.
Okay. So I think, can I just add?
Yeah.
So it's not just trying to know the context. We call this as elicitation. What was said in the first phrase, you elicit the variables that you want to talk about. That's how you build a context. Yeah. So there is some context that's already built or provided as part of the platform, and then you add some. That's basically how you customize it. So essentially, Watson does not provide me some sort of UI or somewhere where I can specify this will be a context, and people will be talking around this, and maybe I can provide some data on that particular context. That's not supported as of now.
So currently, it supports this the intents part, and then the entity stuff, and of course the dialogue one. Yeah. So maybe I need to look into it and then answer. Any other questions? Okay, so I guess I'm done. So as I said, please reach me out later on once if you explore. Thank you.
So you can also talk to him during the networking session. He'll be around and you can just go and clear your doubts there. So we'll be collecting the puzzle sheets right now. If you can hand it over to any of us here. So coming to our third speaker for the day, he's Suchith. He's the head of university relations for HackMania, and he'll be talking on emerging tech in HR. He started up right after his engineering and has been the CEO of Intellogy Global Solutions Private Limited, and now he heads university relations at HackMania.
Okay, hello everyone. Hired. Okay, so I'm Suchith from HackMania. So as given, the topic is the emerging technologies in HR. So what's the present scenario? How do you hire? How many of your students? Any students here? Okay. And startups? Okay. So how do you hire? I mean, normal present scenario. So you go around, you check for the jobs on the online portals, or you get an on-campus placements, right? And how do you get through them? Tens of rounds, say GD, HR, technical interview, your aptitudes, and all of that sort, right? And what I know, being a student like some time ago, I've gone through around 10 rounds for an interview, which went on for 2 days. And it was till night. I had to wait till night to check if my number would come by then or not. So it's a hazard, right? You wait, and even for the companies, not just for you who attend. It's also for the companies who conduct the interviews. It's not so easy job. You have to put in a lot of things. Is it visible? Okay. So there are a lot of things involved when you say recruitment or a drive. You need infrastructure. First of all, you have to filter the resumes. You get 1,000 resumes, and after that, you have to sort of sort out what you want, right? Then you need infrastructure, your time, like I said, overnight things, or the late night, especially the walk-ins. Thousands of people come in and number nahi aata. So that's what happens, right? Resources. You can't get anybody to just sit on the interview chamber and ask him to interview, right? For interviewing, you need to have a certain profile for the person to interview, right? That is not an easy job. Getting an HR manager to come and ask him to spend the whole day, whole night, just interviewing one by one. That's not an easy job again. And money. All of it takes money. Any of the above takes money, right? So, what's the solution? The present, yeah. So, the bigger companies, what they do, outsource it to the recruitment agencies, right? Consultancies, yes. But does it really solve? No, because consultancy again have to do the same job. It's just the headache is gone from the bigger company and came to the consultancy. But the actual problem of time, infrastructure, resources isn't solved yet. So what's the solution? It's the technology, automation. See, we had 2 sessions saying the same. Automation. Who doesn't? There are many jobs, previously, I have my friends who are working in some companies. Their job is nothing but clicking 2 buttons the whole day. I'm not criticizing it, but yeah, the same job can be done by automation, right? You get a software which checks what is happening, which job is failed, and again start. It can be automated. So that's what everybody is looking at, and that's what we are also looking at, right? So our solution is HackerWay. So the HackerWay.co is our product. We host. It's a platform for the recruitment, skill development, the hackathons, and online challenges. So we are. You can say we are a testing platform for companies, and also a hosting. Say hackathon hosting domain again for hackathons. So that's what we are. Oh, so I don't think this is visible, not even to me. So these are some screenshots of the product. No, just
The next one.
no, just leave it. I've not got many slides. I was in a hurry. So basically, you do nothing. First, it's just an online platform where you log in like you do in your Facebook. First sign up, then log in. And okay, let me tell you from company's perspective. What do company look at? Can you go to the infrastructure, the things we, yes, things like that. So from the company's perspective, you want automation, right? You need all the things to be saved. So starting from resumes, you company can log in. Then they can post their own challenges. Let that be your aptitude, that is multiple choice questions, and let that be coding. Right now, most of the companies don't have online coding things. What do they do? You clear your aptitude, you clear all the rounds, come to the technical interview, you take one-on-one technicals, which are nothing but again some descriptive questions which you can find it online. Right? I've seen, no, I went for an interview once with the mug. I don't know Java, I'm not a techie person at all. I don't know Java, I mugged up some 20-30 questions. In that, the interviewer asked me 2 to 3 questions. But do I really know Java? No, I don't. But for an interviewer, it means that I know Java. We don't entertain that. So with this, you get because you can code online, you get aptitude online, so all the rounds can be done. And when I say coding part, we support around 50 plus languages. So I guess that should cover most of it. You can ask any technology, yes, you can code on that. We have our own compiler to compile and give you instance codes. Plus, if let's say you have done some projects and you want to upload it, or say I have given you, being an interviewer, I have given you a task to make an app because I'm looking at an Android developer. You can make your app and you have .apk file if I'm not wrong. You can upload that file into it. That's called file upload. So you have that option as well. So I can actually check what you have done. And that's what you even do in the hackathons, right? There's a theme given or there's a problem statement given and you build your application and you show that feature is there. And so with this, we are solving time because you don't need resources interviewing thousands of people. You need infrastructure. For the companies who wants all the candidates to come sit in our office and code. But there's another option which is not entertaining for the freshers most of the time, but for an experienced guy, most of the time you can sit at home, take your time, say 2 hours challenge, take your time, code, and you're done. You get your scores. And now we are also trying to get the chat interface and Skype interface, the video calling interface. So that even for the interviews, you don't have to travel to Delhi from Hyderabad for a job, which you have to do right now. So that problem can also be solved. And coming to the code, the compiler, how good it is. How good is it? Like I told you, 50 plus languages it can. But when we calculate scores, we don't just calculate the output. See, there are many compilers online which you can find, pay some bucks and you can use it for a month or 2 or a year. But most of it, I don't say all, but most of them check only the output. See, your output should be 10, 20, 30, but your output is 10, 20, 21. You're gone. You get a 0. So basically they work on 0, 1 algorithms. We read your code, AI stuff. We read your code, we analyze your code, the things you have written, the way you have approached, and then accordingly we give out your scores. So here you cannot say that, okay, I had written a proper code, kahin pe ud gaya, so I didn't get through the exam. No, you cannot say that. So even the evaluation is off, like you do manually. When you code manually, obviously people check line by line, right? Your internal also are given partial outputs, right? Same way. So that's about the platform and our solution. Right now we are serving so if we have to get this into the market, obviously we need not just for the companies, even the people attending should have this readiness to opt this, right? If you are not skilled, let's say you are comfortable with the older way, because you don't have to learn more and more things, and you don't have to actually showcase everything. It takes more time, but it becomes easier. But if this is in the market, even you have to work hard. You have to polish your skills. I don't say learn and mug up or I'm not actually cool with saying to learn. No, you have to polish your skills. If you know Java, learn it properly so that you get onto the top. We have those things, so users can register. We give out weekly challenges so that you make your profile. So we call it a G score, geek score. How many of you know AMCAT? Yeah, most of you. AMCAT also has a score, right? You write an exam, you get a score. Same way, we analyze all the things which you have done on our platform. That can be your hackathons, online challenges, or interview in the job challenges which you have attended. We analyze all of that. We give you a statistics and a G-score, so that you can showcase this as your resume. You don't have to say that I know this, I know that. This will tell your profile will tell us what you are. How much do you know? What all things do you know?
Yeah, like I said, the benefits, instance codes, online tests, and time and resources can be utilized better, is what I think. So that's it. So what candidates has to do the same thing, like I said, polish your skills, become better, so that you get the jobs which you should get. Right? It's not just your academics, or it's not just your communications which should give you a job. It's your skills which should give you a job. If you're a code developer, yes, you should be paid more than the person who's just good at talking, right? So that's what we look at. So thank you, Suchith, Reddy. Thank you.
What other products are similar to yours right now in market?
So right now in market there are many. I can say competitors. There are many, but all of them concentrate on in particular domains. This is the recruitment part which I've told you, because that was relevant to it. There are many other things which we do. Hackathons, which I did not actually mention or describe. We do HackerRank. Yes, that's the biggest competitor. That's in USA.
They have all, they don't just look at your output. They go through the through a lot. They look at the complexity of the function you write. They
No, that I can tell you individually, because I shouldn't comment on their business, right?
No. I'm not asking you to comment on their business. I'm asking you what else, apart from looking at the output, what else is being done by your product? What's the new one?
What's the new thing in HackerWay? You're talking from just the coding and scores perspective.
No. How do you want to scoring? How do you score? Not only looking at the output, but what else?
So we analyze your scores. That is a patenting. It's patent processing. We are processing it. We have written an algorithm which analyze. So how do you manually do it? I give you a program which I
ask the user to run it. When see the runtime of this one and the most optimized one. So
no, if I've written it, I've written.
Yes, I'm not comparing it with the very basic stuff which it does do and.
No. I just check my question. I've written a program. I've given it to you. How do you check? You check the approach, right? Okay. How did he approach? Okay. For this question, he used a for loop. How many times did he use? And after that, what is the logic which he used? Right? We have built an algorithm to read all that.
I think that's already there. Yeah. This feature is already there with your computer.
No.
It is in HackerRank you have more complexity analysis, test cases, so you can give.
See, most of it which I've come across, or I know a couple of people from all the competitors as well. What I've come across is they see you have there's a question which has multiple cases, right? If I say level wise, the competitors level wise. If I say the ground level competitor, they would check if in the question itself you have 10 test cases. Question says 10 test cases. The ground level they would check 1 or 2 and just leave it. Okay? And when it becomes more and more, they check each and every test case, or multiple test cases for each case. So that's how they analyze code, and plus the runtime and all that. But reading your reading your code isn't there. Reading your approach, the logic isn't there.
Very satisfied.
Or I can do one thing. Or in this case, I can do one thing. I can connect you to my CTO, so that he can explain you better in technical terms.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? I can just tell you this way.
Yeah.
This is it's a big time. This is only for tech recruitments or generalized recruitment? Only for tech recruitment.
It's not audible.
This is only for tech recruitment or any
It's
other?
just for tech recruitment. As of now, it's for tech recruitment. For others, we can use the multiple choice option.
If I have an architect in
No.
they will have these little drawings, architectural drawings. they
Yes,
have to
yes.
perform those.
Uh,
So do you
No. But see, because say if you say CAD for civil or mechanical,
architect?
yes. Analyzing the structure and everything is a little difficult. We can upload the file and then you have to check it manually. It cannot be run.
That doesn't make sense. Right?
Yes.
Why
So that is why we haven't got those things out. Maybe we'll work it out in future, but right now it's not. It's just for the tech.
only for tech?
Yes.
I mean, in similar lines with your competitors, and code shape, those competitors.
Any more questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Suchith, for your section. So, I would like to call upon Arvind, the founder and the platform architect at the IoT Suitcase. So, he's talking about Internet of Things and connected devices versus smart devices. So, he has about 7+ years of progressive experience with SDLC, including requirements analysis.
Don't need to read that. They'll know me.
They'll know
Yes.
about it. I just have to get it out there. So he's designed the IoT platform for the IoT Suitcase. So over to you.
That's easy actually.
Yes.
So, good evening, guys. I'm the only guy standing between your snacks and whatever you're doing right now. So my name is Arvind. You should launch the presentation for me. So I'm going to talk about Internet of Things here. I'll try not to brand my product too much. Nothing promised though. So what today we're going to do about is
Just come in.
So that's about me. So I had about 8 years of experience working with multiple technologies. Started off my career from Struts 1.0 and I ended up being a mean stack consultant and I quit about a couple of years ago and started my own platform and building all the things. Written a couple of books on mobile hybrid development. Anybody heard about Ionic framework? Yeah. So I've written a couple of books on the first edition and second edition. Right now I'm writing my third book on advanced IoT with JavaScript and I used to blog about a couple of things and then that's about a quick background about me. So let's just jump into the interesting part. So how many of you here heard about what IoT is? How many of you know what IoT is? How many of you think you know what IoT is? Okay, that's good. So now imagine there was a scenario. So there's a scenario where your refrigerator identifies that you're running low on milk. It calls you at your work or probably sends a WhatsApp message saying that you're running low on milk and then you need to get more milk. Then your car immediately jumps into the picture and says that, hey, you know what, should I put your grocery while you're coming back home on your GPS? And you would say yes on your WhatsApp chat. That gets added to your GPS. While coming home, you go to the grocery, pick all the good stuff, forget the milk and come back. And then your refrigerator starts shouting at you saying that, I put that milk on the list, why you still get it? So this is what we are talking about, a generation of things where things started off a bit different and then now it has gone to something else. So there was a time when people used to, there was a time when people used to think what Internet of Things is. So Internet of Things is basically about connecting your electrical, electronic and electromechanical devices to the internet and then they all talk to each other. This is a simple definition of Internet of Things. We are a bunch of guys sitting in a room. There are a bunch of chairs. Now if somebody comes in and tells that, hey, you know what, where is the vacant chair or how many chairs are vacant or are we sold out? How do you check and manage and do all these things? This is where Internet of Things comes into picture. So I think a lot of people have already started looking into IoT and technologies related to that. We had two talks today about AI and ML. I'm going to go there at the very end. But before that, so as I was talking about this, so it's like this. What we are talking about IoT is that you have your washing machine or your oven You set them on a timer, they call you up and they'll tell that, yo dude, I'm done. Okay, come turn me off. So this is the generation we guys are in right now, and this is where we are going towards. So going forward, you know how old the Internet of Things is? How many? Guess. 100. Very good. That's very ambitious. 10 years. No, seriously, 100 years it was IoT, right?
Where would
No,
have been?
seriously, it would have been good. I'm not talking anything bad about it. I would have
18 years.
18. That's very precise. Okay. Anybody else? Guess means that if you know numbers, you can throw numbers. 40. That's good. Okay, 40. 30. That's good. 20.
60.
60. That's good. Anybody above 100? Sorry?
As old as internet.
Ah, that's nice. Okay. In fact, that's a surprising answer. The answer is that it actually started in 1982. The internet came in 1991. By the way, how many of you know who invented internet? Okay, let me ask a simple question. How many of you here use internet? Really? Okay, how many of you here use Facebook?
This was the first.
Yeah, I'll come to that. So, how many of you here use Facebook? So, who created Facebook? You know who is his father? The guy who created this, we don't know. His name is Sir Timothy Berners-Lee. You should know that. You guys are all IT people, right? Anybody non-IT who doesn't use phone? Right? Yeah. So we guys should know about it. His name is Sir Timothy Berners-Lee. And you know why he got the title Sir? Because he invented the internet. Okay. You know how long internet has been invented? The last year, August, they celebrated 25 years of internet celebration. So if you want to know how internet was created, right, go to a site called as CERN. CERN is the foundation which actually created the internet. So these guys are the guys who did in 1991. When I say somebody invented the internet, I meant that they created the HTTP protocol and the HTML language, right? And this guy, even before that, so 4 exercise challenged people, okay, from these guys are from Carnegie Mellon University in 1982. These guys are monitoring a remote Coke machine where they were actually identifying how many Coke are still cool and what is the stock and everything. This happened in 1982. Anybody born in 1982? Or before? You're all after, right? No. Okay. So one person. So but yeah, this is where it started. Go to the next slide. So this guy is another guy who did it in 1989. This guy's name is John Romkey. So he connected his toaster to the TCP/IP protocol. No, we're not talking about HTTP, HTML, nothing. TCP/IP protocol. He sent one byte of packet. The toaster was on. He sent another byte. The toaster was on. Why? Nobody knows, but he did it. This was 1989, right? So this is where we are talking about, like what he said, as old as internet, but in fact is a bit older than internet. So all he did was turn his toaster on or off, but still. So if you move forward, this was another thing. This was at Cambridge, University of Cambridge. All of us are developers, right? I guess most of us are developers. We drink coffee. That's the secret juice we drink to make code. Okay, so these guys were also developers sitting in the University of Cambridge. They had a coffee pot which actually used to have levels of coffee. The pantry room guys used to come and they used to fill coffee whenever it was needed, but unfortunately half of the time the coffee pot was empty. So they left all their work and they built this machine where it takes 3 pictures every minute and sends it to the pantry room. They can keep looking at it and see whenever the coffee pot was half empty, they used to go into it. This was Internet of Things even before we realized it was Internet of Things. So that was somewhere in 1993. So by then we must be probably in school, somewhere around that. Yeah, so at that time internet was already done. So as I say, right, laziness is the mother of invention. There is no longer necessity. So it's like this, right? They guys sit in our office and do things. I'll probably show you a bunch of things. There was a time when people used to think it's very cool that you open your app and you press a button and something happens. Now like what Raj was telling, AI is gone way different. It's all voice, it's all actions, it's all gestures. Now people, I wouldn't go for gesture based because I think you have to lift the hand. So yeah, that's the principle we get over it. So we guys are going more like actually Internet of Things is considered as the third wave of evolution. The first was Internet, the second was smartphones, the third is Internet of Things. So this is how these 3 things are in flow. So now the next generation, what we are looking at is how IoT is used in the real world. So in India, we see very few use cases of all these things implemented, but in other places they have gone quite far. Healthcare is one such area which is used for patient care. People who have just done operations who want to have extra care and everything. So there were scenarios where people used to put chips into your heart, which actually transmits your heartbeat to the hospital directly. The moment you die, they'll come to know. But remember, once you put a chip inside your heart, yeah, they know about it. See, there's a difference. That's what I wanted to talk about, a very big difference there. You put a chip inside the heart, it keeps on sending your heartbeat information. They'll come to know that something is wrong. By the time that guy sees up and reacts, you're gone. Okay, so there is a big difference between technology being used in healthcare. Okay, so this after you put this chip, you're no longer a human, by the way. It's like you're a robot or a cyborg or something like that. But still, so this is a very essential area which is very critical. Being in a country like India or even the most advanced developed country, can you guarantee that your internet is not down for 10 seconds? Imagine you get a heart attack during those 10 seconds. This is a very risky area in technology, but a lot of people are trying to stabilize this. Probably 5 years, 7 years, 10 years down the line, you'll be pretty sure that we might end up in a place where, the moment you have a high BP, there's an ambulance coming in and they'll take you and go. If you don't want also, they'll go. So that's the way we are actually evolving things. In the consumer IoT section, so if you go forward, how many of you here wear a wearable? Right, one guy. So, two. Slowly people are raising hands because they don't want to show their wearables. Because, wearables are kind of good, kind of bad. It's very stressful up to some extent. It will tell you the truth of your life. So you don't want to wear. So wearables is one very interesting technology. It's not completely Internet of Things though, but you have enough information to understand, accumulate what you're going to do. So another section where we want to do is your home automation. I'm not going to talk about home automation at all. Everybody here knows about home automation. You guys know, right? That's very simple. We don't want to talk about that. So we'll talk something more interesting. We'll talk about the smart toilet. Okay? How many of you have friends here? Everybody. How many of your friends come home? Everybody does. And then they use your restroom, don't they? And they don't flush. Now imagine a device which is fitted on your flush tank. The moment you open your door, you have a full automated home. You open your door, the lights turn on. It's very nice. He goes in, sits there, still the lights are on. Then he goes, does his job, comes out, but now he doesn't flush. Immediately your project starts shouting, it didn't flush, it didn't flush. Everybody in the house knows that. Now that's how you make sure that your toilets are clean. Okay, this is, sorry?
Now it starts cleaning.
Yeah, and that's a different conversation. Japanese have already done it. Japanese have done it. You've seen Japanese toilets. You should, don't Google now, Google later. So they have these sophisticated toilets where you press a button, things happen. You are not even required for doing the job. Somebody else will do it. But that's a different conversation. As I told you, Japanese toilets, they are way more advanced than this. But this is where IoT can keep things locked, in a normal people. So the next thing you're looking at is there was this guy who invented an IoT device. Okay. In India, we are very fortunate to use water, but in other countries they don't. They use paper rolls or toilet rolls. So now what happens is that the moment you're at the end of the toilet roll, this device tweets on my Twitter account that your toilet roll is over. Why Twitter? Why tweet? I don't know. They actually, this is actually a real device which is actually there in the world. Some people are actually buying it. So now IoT has become a different kind of a genre where people want to show off things. So this is one area. So you guys know Roomba? Roomba is basically a vacuum cleaner which goes around your whole home and then keeps on scanning your house and stuff. People are now adding IoT and Roomba together and they're trying to do a lot more things. Roomba was once upon a time a simple cleaning technology for people who don't know Roomba, right? So so if there are stairs or anything or any open areas or any crowded areas, it knows where to go and where not to go automatically. This was there since probably 15, 20 years now. Roomba is there. So it knows where its charging point is also there in the home. So it automatically, once it gets a low battery, it goes and charges there. So that's how technology was there, and they're trying to add this on this, and cats love sitting on top of it. That's just for cats. So next biggest section where IoT is working out is the industrial section, which is the industrial IoT. So you guys know about the Suitcase story factory? There was this company in Pakistan. There was a lot of jokes which came around that. So what happened was there was this company in Pakistan which used to manufacture toothpaste. So what they used to do is that in the whole manufacturing process, if they manufactured 1 lakh toothpaste, about 500 of them did not have the paste inside the box. It was just empty boxes. They were all coming out as empty boxes. And some customers found it and there were reports filed and all those things happened, which
people quite think like. So the owner of that company calls, this is actually a joke, I don't know if you know, calls an Indian guy and tells that, if you can fix this, that will be great. So he says, okay, give me 3 months, I need so much money. He says, yeah, damn, do it. So 3 months, he doesn't even go to the factory. 2 days before the delivery date, he goes to the factory. At the end of the assembly line, he puts a fan. And then what happens is that all the toothpaste which are coming out without the paste inside them are blown out. So that is how you can have a pencil instead of a scientific pen and a simple fan instead of a whole IoT sensor-based system to work with it. This is another sector of industrial automation, but this is on the lighter side though. But IoT has more impact in the Internet of Things section. So where we guys at the IoT Suitcase focus primarily on industrial IoT. So we guys do something called as preventive maintenance, predictive maintenance, and we also identify the health of the machines before time and tell you when you might get a breakdown. What we do is a combination of acquiring data, processing data using artificial intelligence and neural networks and algorithms, and then giving a prediction pattern where your machine might go wrong, reducing the downtime. So we'll talk more about it probably at the end. So smart cities. Are we trying to become one smart city? We'll still be trying for probably 15, 20 years. I don't want to talk about it. But there are multiple things we guys are working in IoT sector, and then that's what we guys actually do. Apart from these things which are mentioned, right, which are very interesting part of it given the time, there are so many other areas where IoT can create an impact. One was on the logistics side. One was on the equipment tracking and management and those areas. Agriculture, aquaculture, a lot of areas where IoT can create a huge amount of impact in this particular area. So one of the famous things we guys heard was on the garage opener. So when I first took this technology and went to a guy in US and said that, hey, you know what, I built this platform which can do this. He said, what's new in this? I have my car door openers which is there since long. So there's a very fundamental difference between what technology exists and what we are trying to rewrite with IoT. So the technology which exists right now is a connected device. Opening an app, pressing a button, turning something on or off is manual, if you ask me. So where, even though you're turning this thing, the garage door, he has a clicker in his car, the moment he comes near his driveway, he'll click it and then the gate opens and then he goes inside. And then he clicks it again, it comes down. But the problem is that the door's garage sensor doesn't have intelligence. When you click a button and there's somebody underneath it, will the garage door stop? It will squish the person with it. So that is the biggest problem with all these things. So what we are trying to work with is a combination of connected devices versus smart devices. So that's the main idea of the topic. So what we are trying to work with here is that we are trying to identify devices and provide them with something called as an ability to think on their own. Maybe it is an artificial intelligence that we are providing to the device itself to understand its surroundings based on various things. So as initially I was describing a chat where you start typing things and start interacting with your refrigerator, your TV, your vehicle, and you tell that, hey, what was my mileage? Just send a message on your WhatsApp group chat with the group of your devices, and then your car will reply, your mileage was 36 because this is what you did, this is how you can improve. So this is what we are trying to work with in terms of IoT. So what we guys do in the whole IoT Suitcase platform, right? We guys have end-to-end solutions, right? So we guys have the hardware, we guys have the firmware, we guys have the connectivity, cloud, the whole shebang, right from that to data analytics and make a decision. I have seen so many companies who are neither complete this way nor that way. Some are very good with hardware. They make hardware, they make sensors, they send the data. But who is processing and making sense of it? We have the other half of the spectrum where there are people who require data to start their job. So what we have done is that we built the end-to-end solution where you have a device which takes the data from one part to the analysis and intelligence on the other part. So for that reason, right, we have a lot of hype about Alexa today, right? So we guys bought as Alexa Echo Dot. So I muted it because the moment I say Alexa, it is going to wake up. So I muted it. So I'm very careful about it. So what I'm going to show you is a very simple thing about two things. One is your smart devices, and the other one is your connected devices. So if you guys can see, there are 4 lights here. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Okay. I don't think I can move it further. Short wires. So this is basically 4 connections which I have given to this. And what we have done is that I have an app which is very smart. So which actually when you press a button, it will turn on a certain light.
it's over the internet. So it's connecting to my cloud is sending some instruction, and that is going. There's a router here which is actually taking the information and feeding it to this. So this is what I call it as a connected device. Okay. So another section where we are bringing AI into the same command process. Like I said, laziness is the mother of invention. So what I do is that I will go, Alexa, ask Suitcase to turn on all the lights.
All lights have been successfully turned on.
Alexa, ask Suitcase to turn off all the lights.
All lights have been successfully turned off.
Alexa, ask Suitcase to turn on the first light.
The first light has been successfully turned on.
Laziness is the mother of invention. I want to tag that thing basically. So what Amazon guys have done is made this device which is doing something. So a lot of things behind the scenes happen through our platform, through Amazon Lambda services like what he was explaining, and we build on top of it. So this is just one part of our solution. So we also have a built-in engine called as the IFTTT engine. How many of you heard about IFTTT? So it's like an if this then that kind of an engine. So I couldn't demo much, so I just bought a couple of devices. I'm not going to do any demo, but I'm going to talk about it. So we have a motion detector here, which is basically wrapped into our own complete secret sauce. So this is our motion detector. So we actually have solutions built around the whole stack. Since we are a platform on which anything can be built quite easily, you can put a motion detector on your backyard and a light which is nearby. The moment you detect a motion, you turn on the light scaling of whatever is coming. So that is if this, then that kind of a scenario. So what we offer as a platform out of boxes for industries, for any other automation to be out of box. So a lot of automation which you see, which is derived from SCADA and the other technologies which are ruling right now, is a hardware-driven automation. That means you cook your intelligence into the hardware. But what we have done is that taken out that whole thing and brought it into cloud computing and fog computing, where all your intelligence is not in the device. We have dumb devices with smart intelligence on top of them. So that is how we guys build and design these technologies, where you as an end user today have a motion detector in your backyard, tomorrow you change it to some other room and you set it up. We have one such use case that I wanted to share it with you is, there was this guy who gave us a proposal saying that, I'm going out of town for 6 months. I have lights and houses and it's an independent house, it's kind of a secluded area, but he doesn't want anybody to know that he's not living. So what we guys proposed him is that, use this kind of a platform, set up schedulers, set up IFTTT rules and everything. 6 o'clock, turn on my porch light. 9 o'clock, turn it off. Turn on my AC TV at around some time. And then you link all of them with one another so that you have a whole experience of people actually living it, without anybody living it. The guy who's looking from outside will actually look like somebody is really living because lights are coming on or off. And, there's one level of decoy you can do with it. If this is what we can do when people are not living in the home, imagine what we can do when people are living in the home. So that is the kind of technology we offer as a platform, where we guys work very remotely with home automation and things like that. But that's easy to understand for a lot of people, so I bought that as a use case. But I bought a big, nice machine which can do analysis. That's very boring. So that's pretty much about what I wanted to share with you on the IoT Suitcase. You can shoot your questions now.
For your clients, you looking at B2B space or B2C space?
B2B.
So you're pitching an individual who just wants to
we talk to a lot of people on various use cases we have. So we want to get ideas on how people can utilize this further. So he was not a client of ours. He was a guy who we are interacting with, and he had a use case that we thought was a good way to solve this.
So, just a question. You mentioned IFTTT, right?
Yes.
So you have actually built something equivalent of that.
Yes. We have our own. Yes.
There was a statement recently by I think Cisco that most of the IoT applications are not making money.
Yeah, that's true. We are poor, so we have to find a way. That's very true, to be honest. So, if you see, for the reason you don't see any statistics in my slides, I did not say 2020 we'll have 10 billion devices, we'll make $3 trillion, we'll make 1 trillion out of that. No, we didn't do that. Because IoT is a very difficult industry because adoption is a big factor. 1970s was when computers or personal computers was a thing. Now, imagine the time it has taken to evolve and become a personal computer for everybody. Now that turned into a smartphone revolution. That was the next generation. Now IoT is going to take at least 5 to 6 years minimum from now for people to evolve.
And to be honest, right, Amazon is the only company in the world today making money on IoT, and that is because of this way. No other people. Now people are finding Amazon Alexa redundant, by the way. I don't know if he's going to agree with me or not. Alexa is becoming redundant because for me to give a voice command, so let's say I'm driving and I want to order a pizza, and I'm actually going for a drive-thru or some other location. I don't have Alexa with me right now. I have to fondle with my phone or something. So Alexa, I cannot put it in my car. So a lot of people are finding that this is a super convenient thing at home, but when you take it to the next level, it is not. But still, this is making money. What IoT is doing right now is that there are still concepts for a lot of people. Making IoT practical primarily in the home sector or the healthcare is not going to be soon available, but something in the industrial area is going wild. So we guys have a few deployments of our own, where we have done it in Vizag and Kakinada. So which is there inside Seaport. So that's one of the projects we guys do. It is difficult to get money.
Can I add a point there?
Sure.
So, like Arvind mentioned, it's true. Alexa is becoming redundant because a lot of similar technologies are coming into the market, right? Other providers as well. But what essentially has happened is that this service has been abstracted out as APIs now, Lex and Poly, as I was mentioning, right? And now a lot of other manufacturers are bringing Alexa into their products. Like you mentioned, driving. So Ford and even Hyundai has Alexa built into their audio system. You can actually talk to it like this. And similarly, other products as well, right? But yes, true, you cannot carry this with you. Huawei is actually coming up with a phone which is Alexa built in. So it's actually spreading. It's actually creating a new marketplace altogether.
One more hack to what you mentioned. There's an app called as Reverb, R-E-V-E-R-B, which you can download on your phone and you can interact with Alexa without the hardware. I don't know when you guys are going to ban it, but we're going to use it for now. So no, really, because that's taking your business away. If I can use my phone, so I can actually do that. So I have Reverb on my phone, just to make a point though. So it's exactly like an Alexa interface, but you can use it with your phone. Alexa, ask Suitcase to turn off all the lights. It'll happen. It's bouncing off servers and proxy and everything, and then it's going into their network. And my network is weak, so but I'll give it one more try if this doesn't work.
And by the time it does, it works. Is the market only very different in India or for the IoT?
IoT has multiple verticals. Technology is being sold since long, but the point is that which vertical are you referring to? If it is smart home and these areas, right? Consumer IoT is a very difficult thing. Even in US, it is difficult. It happens. So it happened. Now they were saving me from behind, so it happened.
Does it recognize only your voice?
No, it's not. It's anybody who. So I said. I use a keyword called a suitcase. That's our keyword. So I said Alexa to wake it up. Ask Suitcase to turn off all the lights. So suitcase is our keyword. So using that, it recognizes which platform to go, where to reach, what we do. So behind the scenes, we need the whole network behind it. So as what you was mentioning, they created APIs with which we are interfacing with the voice AI. So they convert the whole voice into text and give it to us. We write if-else conditions or a neural network which has a decision tree to identify which device I'm talking about, which light and which device I'm talking about. Like that. Any other questions? Yeah.
Is there any particular figure adoption of this particular IoT because most of the time the IoT use cases, when IoT is or if there is something like kind of traditional cases, but is there any particular case where the integration of IoT with AI and ML has been a successful adoption and proved the world like it might be the best base of the things to going forward?
I have not heard about any specific use cases which have gone that way. So I'll tell you what, IoT is primarily going to be a connection of devices in a network. What we are trying to do is that extend that into adding ML and AI and then bringing more experience out of it. So there was an example where these Prius cars comes with a chip inside it, which actually keeps on monitoring your entire car usage, and you can use your mobile app to track and manage everything. IoT is about two parts, collecting data and understanding data. So that is now definition. When you had 5 years definition, IoT is all about connecting devices to one another and they talk to each other. So now it's all different. So I don't know if AI and ML have any specific use cases you want to share about.
So how many have heard about the driverless cars? Tesla.
Exactly.
So that's your use case right there. IoT, ML, AI, all married together. If that doesn't happen, you wouldn't be having that use case today. In fact, it's so successful that governments are or the lobbyists are trying to push it back. Right? So that's where we are right now. AI is here even before you want it or you need it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Any other? Thank you.
So I think all of us would agree that the demo was really nice. We also got a comment on Facebook that the demo was very conventional and very nice. So before closing, I would like to announce the puzzle winners. So is Rahul around? Rahul? Rahul Budrani. Yes. So Shashika? Sai Kumar Reddy? Krishna, if you could please remain standing, we'll come up and give it to you. Praveen, G. Praveen, Saptarshi. So these are all of our winners. And to close, so on behalf of PayU, I would like to thank each one of you for coming here, for taking your time out on a Saturday and being here and being a very patient audience. I hope we have been able to give you some good insights on this session. So even to our live audience, thank you for being a very patient audience and being around. So in case any of you are looking for payment partners, reach out to us. We are all around here. And we are now opening the session for networking. We have some roles and soft drinks for you guys. You can please help yourself. Thank you all once again.